Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Nerdwave Plays. And we're just about toward the end here. However, what I'm debating doing is, depending on how long this quest takes, we may knock everything out now, or we may split this up into two. That way we're not marathoning, you know, it's not the edits that take a long time, it's actually just saving the file that takes so long. Wow, I never noticed this before, but this is very disturbing. Oh, Tannis. Anyway. Yeah, it's, it may take a minute to get through, so, you know, and that's assuming there's no other quest we gotta knock out here. So because yeah, you know, I got a decent laptop and it works fine for doing basic stuff, and you know, can run games okay on here, but when it comes to this kind of processing power, I think I do need to upgrade to a PC. Oh. Of course. We got two side quests now. Well, then we'll just make this knocking out the last side quest episode, and then we'll do the finale on a separate one. Because yeah, anything over an hour, and yeah, it takes forever to save anything. So I may need to buy at some point get a dedicated PC for this. You know, something with a lot more memory, something quicker. But for now, this will have to do. It is Saturday morning, quite early actually. I normally don't record this early. It's not even 9 a.m., but I woke up really early and couldn't go back to bed and started knocking stuff out, so it's like, yeah, why not? Why not record? Alright, we're going hunting for bandits. They're in the top right corner. I knew there was some leftover stuff, because it's like, I didn't really spend a lot of time in some of these areas, so. Now, it is, granted, it is still DLC. You know, it's not going to be as big as the core game.
Someone always has the upper hand.
Get rid of some of this other junk, clear up room for some good stuff later on. No, actually, since I'm here, that's maxed out. Oh, SMG ammo. That's already maxed out. We're gonna max everything out. Because that's already maxed out. Ooh. If memory serves, that last boss, I can't talk today. The last boss eats a lot of ammo. It takes a lot to take him down, so.
Just let me die.
One shot, one kill. If they would hit. See ya.
Oh yeah, that was all me.
Alright, where are we going? Yeah, northeast corner. Doesn't look too far from here, but we'll see what's actually in the way. looks like, you know, based on the map here, if I go down, it doesn't appear that there's a route to the top. So why don't we go, rather than risk that, we'll fight our way into the, looks like the main part of their city here, and then take that bridge over to the corner, because it, again, you can't quite tell on the map, but I'd wager there's not a shortcut up there.
Iberian soldiers.
So, we'll take the challenging way. Starting to feel like it's starting to feel more like fall every day, because even though the days can still be a bit warm, the evenings are getting a lot cooler.
He who controls the means of production controls the government, and that power belongs in the hands of the proletariat. Only then can the great machine march on. It's true. I read it in a book.
I am looking forward to fall. Not because I'm a pumpkin spice person. Personally, I don't really see the appeal. I like pumpkin pie. But pumpkin spice everything? I don't get it. Oh, this is interesting. Now you're all in my way. You're all in my way, you all die. Alright. Scorpio turret we drop.
I love this damn thing.
Not bad. Not too shabby. What? There's more of you. Now that I kill off all the claptraps, then you want to jump in. I wonder if this is like a turf war. The bandits kind of sectioned off there, and they're fighting the claptraps. The claptraps are trying to flush them out, maybe. Oh boy. Ammo. Oh, I didn't see you, my friend. My bad. There's 15. Kill the leader. That actually wasn't too bad at all. Granted, it's I think the difficulty of the quest was trivial. So, pretty easy fights. At least some junk we can sell. Mostly junk. Mostly junk. As usual. Alright, now we gotta kill Default. Ammo box. Oh, sweet. Alright, we should have enough. We switch to submachine gun for a minute.
You don't want none of it.
15 was pretty. A little nicer with the scope. This new shield is awesome sauce. I wonder if, no, it actually might be pinpointing exactly where default is hiding.
We survived the robot apocalypse. We fear nothing, especially little shits like you. Now, get off my land, or prepare to default on your life.
I like how the camera keeps, like, panning over, like, alright, bro, you've talked enough. That's enough now. Alright. Let's get it on. I mean, 15 was actually a pretty low number. It could have been like 25, 30. Holy shit, where did that come from? Is that him? I got wrecked. Oh. That's why. Crit.
Another one bites the
All right.
dust.
You got me.
See, that's what bosses should carry. Every boss should have a purple, a blue. You know, that makes sense. You know, they should have, you know, the best gear. Roland approves this kill. All right, cool. Let's go turn it in. So you can. I'll take some of their money while we're at it. Well, they're dead. They don't need it anymore, do they? Alright, we should have enough ammo here to sneak out. Ooh, sweet. Go do the next quest. It's actually a pretty good setup. I like it. I'll just sneak around back that way and dunsies. I know it's Saturday morning, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Saturday. Kind of felt like a Sunday this morning for a bit. Like, I was like really lazy. I'm like, I don't want to get up. I'm like, oh, nope, still only Saturday. not too bad. Nothing to see. Nothing to see. So yeah, that was pretty easy peasy. We'll fight our way through this. Got the rocket launcher. This guy. Boom. Yeah, we are full on gear too, so. That's not too bad. Yeah, we did alright. We made out okay. Well, looks like that's about it. Off we go. You know, last night, what was I watching? I was watching Monster Squad last night. And, you know, it kind of got me thinking about product placement. I don't know if you've ever seen Wayne's World when they're talking about sponsors, and you know they're kind of like, you know, it's supposed to be a joke. But you're like, well, no, you know, we're not gonna bow down to any sponsor. We're not gonna, you know, we're not gonna show off their stuff for, you know, for a price tag, and you know, and in every other clip, it's like they're wearing a certain brand of clothes or eating like Doritos chips, and it's you know, it's obvious product placement, or drinking Pepsi, and you know, it's just pretty funny. But here we go. Now let's ammo up over here. SMG. Gotcha. So they have a few product placements with Burger King. Like in one scene, they're one of the main characters and his dad. They're rather than pay to go to the movies, the drive-in, they live close enough to the drive-in that they can actually sit on the rooftop and with binoculars watch the movie, and then tune in on the frequency with the radio, which is pretty funny. And they're sitting up there, and they've got a bag of they've got a clearly marked bag of Burger King and a Pepsi. And then in another scene, they're fighting with these monsters in town, and then they're again, it just happens to be right in front of a Burger King with the sign right there. It's like really obvious, and that also reminded me of in the original Ninja Turtles, they did the same thing. You know, very very obvious product placement with Burger King in several scenes. You know, one I think his name was Danny. One of the main characters who's you know, who had just joined the Foot Clan recently, and you know, he's sitting there in this big warehouse hanging out with the other guys who are, you know, into that lifestyle, and you know, he's got this perfectly, you know, it's a Whopper, but it's like, you know, it's not real because it's a, you know, it looks like the Whopper in the commercial. It's just a perfectly made sandwich, you know, picturesque. It's just, that's not the kind of Whopper you get when you actually order a Whopper from you know, let's be honest, they never are. But yeah, he's sitting there with his drink and his Whopper and his fries, and it's done, not subtly is not the right word, but there's like a hint of a subtleness to it, but it's like, oh yes, make no mistake, we're sponsored by Burger King and Pizza Hut, I believe. I want to say Pizza Hut as well. But I think it worked because now I'm kind of craving Burger King. Wait, that's the Arid Badlands side of the quest. This is the quest we're going to. Yeah, I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. We're not done with you yet. We're not quite done yet. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of craving Burger King now. I wonder if they were doing that to kind of counter the, you know, McDonald's has always been popular. They've always been #1, and it seems Burger King kind of plays second fiddle to them. But I don't even know if they were ever #2 though. I guess I have to look up some sales data or something to see where they land, you know, in terms of like gross sales or market share. Or I'm actually kind of curious now to see where they land. You know, and in some regards, the Whopper could be considered better than the Big Mac. Even though the Big Mac has 2 slices of meat, the single meat patty on the Whopper is better. But there's something about the Big Mac that's just, You know, it's the same thing about the regular burgers. Like the regular, they're plain, you know, hamburgers and cheeseburgers. They're certainly not amazing hamburgers by no means, but there's something about them that, in their inexpensive simplicity, they're good. And sometimes I just have a craving for them. I can't say the same thing for Burger King burgers and cheeseburgers. Like, just the plain ones, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi. It lacks that that X factor that McD's has. And their fries have, and Burger King's fries have, they're better now, but they used to be terrible. Like, just soggy, gross, like whatever. Because I remember in grade school, we didn't have a cafeteria. Well, I should say when I was in public school, we had a cafeteria, and then ended up going to a Catholic school for most of my grade school years. And in the Catholic school, we had like an outdoor lunch area, outdoor seating area. There was no cafeteria, so you had to bring your own lunch. However, Tuesday through Friday during the week, the school offered like a hot lunch. I'm trying to remember what we offered. On Tuesday, it was a burger. I think it was a Burger King hamburger or a cheeseburger and fries. No drink though, so you had to bring your own drink. What else? Wednesdays, they had... What did they have Wednesday? Yeah, every day was something a little different. I'm trying to... And I can't for the life of me recall exactly... Hey, are we in the right spot? Am I in the right spot? It looks like a skeleton of sorts, but... Well, we're in it now.
Nailed it.
Yeah, one day we had, I think it was an Arby's sandwich, or maybe that was high school. Dang, I really don't remember now. I really don't remember. But I know one day we had Burger King, and one day we had pizza. Oh, we didn't have hot lunch every day. We had hot lunch 2 days a week. That's why. That's why I could remember. Okay. On Tuesdays, it was a Burger King cheeseburger. and French fries. And on Fridays, it was, I want to say, a Little Caesars pizza, pepperoni or cheese, individual pizza. Oh, that was easy. Rack Hive, Amber G's. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now I gotta go back this way? Oh, boy. Excuse me. Ooh, weapons box. Let's see what we have here.
Critical hit.
Let's see what we got her. More ammo. Unfortunately, no ammo that I actually need. Bummer. Yikes. And they fell. Sorry, bud. Not today. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, it was in high school. High school we had a different menu. High school we had a day for pizza. High school, yeah. We had a day for pizza. Because it's same issue. No, we had lunch tables outside. We did not have an actual cafeteria. Like when it rained, we ate lunch in the gym, or, you know, they'd open up classrooms so we could sit down and eat in there. Stuff like that. What have we here? So in high school, I know, and I know it changed too. So one day, Fridays was individual pizza from like Little Caesars, and then Thursdays was also Little Caesars, but it was the breadsticks with the marinara sauce. And then Wednesdays we had Arby's, and Tuesdays we had Chick-fil-A. And then Mondays, it was a Carl's Jr. It was like a famous star from Carl's Jr. And they go out, buy a bunch, and then sell them. And we had like a student store as well for like snacks, you know, like chips and sodas, candy and cookies and stuff like that. And we had like a little, it was like one of those catering lunch trucks that was there every day as well. Sometimes we ate off there, but their breakfast burrito was incredible, you know, for the money. All right, Archive, Amber G's, Amber Gis. Let's get wrecked, yo. Kind of reminds me of the Skagzilla fight, except it's a rack hive I'm fighting. Oh, well, I did fight a rakk hive early. Yikes! This one's a lot smaller, but the other one did try to stop me. Crits. And we're gonna go right here. See ya, bud. Yeah, not very difficult. Run through most of my ammo, but we're alive. Oh, what the? Suicidal rakks? Well then, at least we lived. But yeah, kind of having a craving for, thank you, advertising and product placements. Sometimes it does work. Advertising doesn't work. Advertising, well, sometimes it does. And it's kind of a residual thing, because it's like, well, I mean, these movies are like 30 plus years old. And it's like, hey, someone watched it and now they want to buy your product. Sneaky, sneaky. Nice little haul of money and ammo here, but there's a little bit of gear too. I'm on a tiny break, sort of. I'm gonna run out in a bit and finish up more errands. I'm gonna run down to Goodwill for donation, drop some stuff off, and then I gotta go to the dry cleaner. And then after, I think we'll swing back and do grab lunch or something. No, you don't.
Oh yeah, that was all.
Burn. Oh, there's two. I was like, I thought I killed him. There was more than one. How much was that? That rakk hive was like 40,000 XP, I think, or 4,000. I don't remember. I gotta go back and check now. Not too bad either way. Let's see. Oh, if it's 4,000, that's a lot of. It's not a lot of experience for all that ammo I burned on it. Yeah, let's head back that way. Head back, unload the bags. I was planning to do this weekend, but I forgot to bring my stuff home. But at work we have this it's like a safety program, and every pay period that we don't that we're accident free, we get these. Yeah, they're similar to like a lottery style card called Safety Jackpot, and there's a certain amount of points on that. When you save up the points, over time, and they have this catalog that you can order stuff from. It's kind of like an incentive to be safe at work. And they have really, I mean, it's like I mean, it kind of reminds me of like what like the JC Penney catalog was like. It's a huge catalog, tons of stuff. You know, on the high end of things, like you can get like golf clubs. There's you know, the Apple Watches are on there. Personally, though, I do want a tablet, so I think I'm gonna order a tablet. Like, I gotta tab up my points. Like, I've never spent any points. I've been working with the same company for 9 years, and I've saved every single card. And I've even gotten some from coworkers who have left, like coworkers who quit, who had leftover cards and didn't spend them. I got some of theirs. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I know they have the iPad. I'm pretty sure they have like the Android style tablets as well, but I think we're gonna go with the iPad. I did have another tablet I won. Actually, I also got it from work at a Christmas party one year. We had a raffle, and it was like a little 8-inch display, 10-inch display, Android style tablet. It was fine. It was okay. You know, just like, you know, I wager it wasn't more than $40 or $50 brand new. Just didn't have a lot of memory. And even with the memory slotted, you know, expansion, like it never seemed to work correctly. It was a little buggy. So there weren't a lot of things you could do on there. I ended up selling it because it was just kind of sitting there after a while and collecting dust. So I did a factory reset, sold it for another quest.
Turned me down. Me.
There's no winning. There's no winning, and we're already going to be at 38 minutes. I better put a point in before I forget. Well, where are we going to go? Sentry, refire, guided missile. No, not stockpile. Not barrage. I think grid, just so we live a little longer.
But I was a smelly, cretinous oaf. That shit crazy Paris don't know what she's missing.
Alright, so let's sell.
Hungry. And only Captain Sanders' famous Pandora fried rack can mend a broken heart.
Can't even use you anyway. Well, we got another quest to do, of course. Yeah, we're already at 40 minutes in, so, well, so much for having a shorter, well, it'll be that much shorter, because I don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry about these two quests being done. So,
What more do you want from me? Hey, welcome back.
yeah, I think we're going to call it for now. And then next time we'll just have another hour-long
Get lost.
episode. Good stuff. Oh well. Anyway, thanks for staying to the end. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on a future episode. looking forward to catching you all in the next one. There it is.
A few moments later.
Well, YouTube, I changed my mind. I took a little break, and I'm like, you know, we're just going to tack this on to the same episode, and yeah. And like, I drove around for a bit, and I'm like, you know, like, I drove around, ran some errands, came back, and like, I'm such a dumbass, like, I forgot to pick up lunch on the way. I'm like, ugh. But like, I wasn't like super hungry, because like, I mean, I wasn't that hungry anyway, so I'm like, well, we'll just go somewhere for dinner. I just had to, I just made some chips and this really awesome guac salsa. It's like perfect snack food. Ooh, what have we here? Definitely pick you up, my friend. Yeah, so pick that up. Like, I think we'll knock this out, put them all together, and that way the final episode will just be that last mission. Up, back in that side. Okay. But I do think we will go to Burger King for dinner. But I don't really want a Whopper. You know what I really like at Burger King? I think most people probably are pretty indifferent about, but their chicken sandwich. Not the dollar menu chicken sandwich. That one's whatever. But I do like their it's like a long piece of, it's like an elongated oval kind of a shape chicken. Like, ever since, I don't know, even since I was a kid, like, I've always liked it for some reason. It's like a breaded chicken, and no one seems to make it like that, because it's not like a regular just fried. I mean, it's kind of unique, you know. It has its own distinctive shape and flavor that you don't really see other places do. And there are surely better chicken sandwiches, no doubt. But one of those with some hot sauce, and you're golden. One of my faves. What I do miss, though, is their when they used to do actual chicken tenders. Like, those are better than their nuggets are okay. Like, they're not as good as the McDonald's nuggets, but they're not bad, and especially for the money, you know, they're actually a really good value dollar for dollar. But they just don't have the same taste as the McD's nuggets. And their chicken fries are pretty good too. Like, that, I'll give them that, because they kind of have that little bit of an extra seasoning.
You can always count on Marcos when the best guns around.
On their whoops. Shoots a lot slower, though. Yeah, we'll sell this bad boy. Actually, I've been wanting to try that sniper rifle, so let's give it a whirl. Really slow firing rate, though. And I don't think I have any. Let's see. The bonuses for the sniper rifle. Okay, 80% better. Rate of fire. I don't think anything else is, so that's bullet damage. Only when metal storm is up. That's just the capacity here. Man, I really don't like this area. Oh well. Yes, yap, less yapping, more shooting. What the? Is that way not? No, I can't even go up that way yet, can I? That. Or can I? Oh, yes I can. It hits hard, that's for sure, but it's so slow. It would make a really good support weapon if I had a sniper with me, like Mordecai. Send Roland in and keep Mordecai in the back, taking pot shots with that rifle. Like, you'll be golden. Oh no, they're all over the place. Oh well. It is what it is. Great. Hyperion. And flap traps. Oh, that wasn't doing any damage at all. Wow. We gotta go for the head here. Well. Maybe that armor or something, because no damage. Well, that's a bummer. Alright, let's see. Oh, here it is. Ah, this is going to be all over the place. It's such a pain to find all the pieces. Is there a way to backtrack, I think? Nope, that leads you that way, so we gotta go up and around to go down that path, I think. Ugh. I think I'm still burned out from this week. It was a crazy week, and we had an audit on Friday, which, you know, it took, fair to say, maybe we had like an opening meeting in the morning for like 15 minutes, and then we had the time that they spent auditing my department. That was, they were there for a good half hour, 40 minutes or so. And let's see here. What else? What else happened? I mean, it was pretty uneventful. Had some no findings, which is good. You know, the process is working. You know, things. I've been doing this for a while, so had some no major findings, no minor findings. Just a couple of observations, which are it's like a opportunity for improvement. That they're not an issue per se, but they do need to be rectified. So we do need to address them and. Yeah. So that was pretty. It was pretty nice to see that everything's working more or less the way it should. We had a closing meeting. So normally, like, I leave work around. Oh, snap. Normally I leave work around like 4 o'clock ish. On Friday normally. Even a little earlier because it's Friday. Beat some of that rush hour evening traffic and try to get home. But let's see here. There we go. Yeah, you know, we have some stuff to correct, but you know, all in all, it was good. And then so our closing meeting didn't happen until like 4:30. So normally, at 4:30, like I'm already on the highway. You know, maybe 10-15 minutes from my house, if that. It's like, no, we gotta stay for a meeting at 4:30. It wasn't too bad. Like the closing meeting was just under half an hour, so. You know, he kind of closed, you know, he went through everything and, you know, he kind of asked, you know, oh, you know, any questions or comments or yada, 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 you know, toward the end. And my boss is the general manager, and he's like, well, you know what? If this was like any day but a Friday, maybe, but it's Friday. We want to go home. We want to go home. He's like, enough said. See you later. It's like, yes! Thank you for not letting that run off. It's like, don't anyone ask a question because we want to leave. Yeah. Normally we don't do audits on Friday. It's normally like a midweek thing, sometime between, and normally not a Monday either. Normally it's between Tuesday and Thursday. You know, kind of the meat and potatoes of the week. So it's like, I mean, if it would have been a Thursday night, it's like, well, whatever. You know, we stay a little late. But it's Friday. It's Friday. People want to go home. People want to go home. Let them go home. Yeah, just holding my breath for a second, like, anybody starts asking any long questions or complicated questions, oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Luckily, no one did. We all kind of looked at each other. Well, it was done. It was a digital meeting through Microsoft Teams, so we all kind of just looked at each other. It's like, you know that look you give? It's like, nobody talk. Let's just get this done, and let's go home. There it is. Aw. Come on, Rock. Yes! Up we go. Green, a blue, 2 whites. Of course. Let's see what we have her. There we go. So we're 5 for 11, almost halfway. We're about almost 15 minutes in. Yeah, glad we broke this up, because if not, it just would have been even crazier the next one. I just want to go in there. Guns blazing. Knock it out. And we're done with the first DLC. I also need fresh rack meat. Did I not get all the rack meat from that other spot there? That's where the bulk of them are, I think. Oh, snap. Not today, Kamikaze. Not today. So, if Hyperion had their way, Kamikaze would take me. Not today, bud. See ya. You know, I picked up Friday the 13th last week, and I actually left it in my trunk. It's been sitting in my trunk all week. I haven't had time to play it, but I want to play it. And today's the day, because if I don't take it back by tomorrow, let's say I don't like it, well, they won't accept the return anymore. So, what I'll do is, you know, after this, I'm going to log out, load it up, play for like an hour or two, see if I like it. And if it's cool, I'll keep it. And if it sucks,
Critical hit.
I'll swing back by the GameStop this evening.
Feels good.
See what I can do it for.
Target hit.
That could be.
Something I noticed about the Switch is there don't seem to be as many first-person shooters on the Switch. You know, I don't think there's like a Call of Duty or similar titles. On there, so it's like, oh, you know what? I think they kind of were right. Where, you know, even from previous generations, previous years, is that it seems Nintendo in general was kind of geared toward a broader audience, a larger audience. You know, some people would argue it's geared for kids. I don't think that's entirely fair. To say, I think it's just more, it's more geared toward, you know, attracting a family, you know, something that everyone can kind of play versus, you know, not that there's no adult games on there, but that seemed to be kind of the, how do we put it, the general notion, like back in the, say like back in the 90s when you had Nintendo and Sega going at it for, you know, the console wars. You know, they were, it's like, you know, are you team Sega or are you team Nintendo? Now, obviously I'm biased because I did have a Nintendo. We were mostly a Nintendo family. We did get a Genesis later on, like much later on, in its life cycle, but it was already toward the end of said life cycle. It was no longer, forgot how to get up there. There's a way. Anyway. Yeah, it was already toward the end of its life cycle and I'd gotten it for free. So, you know, I didn't really want to put money into building a collection of games to it at that time. I was more interested in the Nintendo 64 by then. That was a new kid on the block. So yes, we were largely Nintendo, but I did have a Genesis and I had a Game. But for Nintendo, had, you know, NES, SNES, multiple Game Boys, and I just had more games. You know, by and far, many more games for those combined. So it's not that I didn't like Genesis. It's just I preferred Nintendo overall. But oh, I remember those commercials. I think it was, you know, Genesis does what Nintendo don't, and it kind of fueled the schoolyard lunch, or the, you know, the schoolyard arguments or the lunchtime arguments. What's better, Nintendo or Sega? And, you know, you had your loyalists on both sides and your extremists, and it's like, I just like Nintendo better, but Sega's cool too, but Nintendo just does it more for me. And you could clearly see in the game libraries that, you know, Genesis was just targeting a larger, I mean, largely they were targeting older gamers. You know, I noticed the older kids did seem to prefer Genesis. And then when Sony PlayStation came out, I mean, that was, you know, everyone kind of, like, a lot of those older kids jumped onto Sony. And Sony was definitely geared more toward an older gamer, a more mature gamer, you know, if you will. I never owned a PlayStation, actually. You know, I did... Oh, snap. I did use them, play the demos and stuff, and, you know, while the audio and video quality, you know, the fact that you could put it on a CD couldn't compare, you know, the audio quality on a cartridge versus a compact disc. Certainly not. But the loading times were so, like, lame. It's like, wait, you have to wait for the game to load? Like, you don't really have to wait to load with the cartridge. It's just, you know, the loading time was largely non-existent, you know, or it was a lot less noticeable than. I'm like, wait, why do you have to wait for it to load? It's like, well, yeah, it's reading the disc. It's like, yeah, but that just seems lame. And me being impatient, it's like, nah, this isn't gonna work. Anywho, not sure how we got on this topic. Oh snap. Alright, let's pop one of our... Use the smaller healing kits there. It's sufficient. Let's see here. Where are you? Okay, Scorpio turret is down. Oh, he hits hard. Or just could be the gun. Oh, there's two of them. That's why I'm like, wow. That's why. It has the incendiary effect and it fires pretty quickly. Yeah, I remember when after the Sony came out, you know, all the cool kids, like, yeah, PlayStation, Sony, you know, Nintendo's for babies. And it's like, well, disagree, but oh, to each their own. To each their own. But yeah, it was just great getting into arguments with, heck, even, what was it, Willie Madison with Adam Sandler when he's like in the 3rd grade and he's sitting at lunch, or he's sitting at lunch with his friends, and I think he said, like, I think Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat 2 on the Genesis was the greatest game of all time, and, you know, Adam Sandler's like, I disagree. It's a very good game, but I think Donkey Kong Country is the greatest game of all time. And then another kid goes and he goes, Donkey Kong sucks. And then Adam Sandler goes, wanna know something? You suck. It's like, oh, I get it. I get it. It happened time and time again. Hey, where's the... There's gotta be a switch on the door here somewhere, I think. Yeah, it was, yeah, I mean, it really got intense with, you know, like for instance, I preferred, you know, Mario Kart. I mean, most people like Mario Kart anyway. It's just a very fun game. It's a very accessible game. You know, it's pretty easy to get up and play. You know, even if you're not particularly skilled at games, but it can be a bit trickier to really master the characters and learn the tracks and everything. But it's simple enough that anyone can just pick it up and have a good time with it. That's kind of the beauty of the game. You know, you say, well, Twisted Metal's better because yada yada. It's like, well, Twisted Metal's not really the same game. I remember everyone liked to bring up that. I mean, Twisted Metal just seemed to be, you know, one of the more popular titles, and it would always come up. It's like, well, this is better, and this is like, this has blood and guts and gore, and it's like, all right, I gotcha, I understand. But blood and guts and gore don't necessarily make a good game on their own. There's no, it's like, you know, there's no vibe games on there. It's like, yeah, well, Resident Evil 2 on the N64. Doom 64 on the N64, you know. What was that other... I think it was one of the few or one of the only mature games to be released on the N64 was Conker's Bad Fur Day. I never played it myself, but it was supposed to be pretty funny, pretty raunchy style humor. Yeah, I mean, it's not all kid stuff, you know. They make titles for adults too. You know, so kind of hard to argue with that, but you know, everyone's gonna be a loyalist to whatever console they happen to own, and they will defend it because it's like if they don't, it feels like they're being it feels like it's dishonorable to do otherwise. It's like it was your duty to defend your console, like whatever it is you happen to have. You know, it's kind of like those dumb conversations where it's like, yeah, well, my dad can beat up your dad, you know, that stupid shit. It's like, who cares? like, is this a thing? Who made this a thing? Yeah, it's a lot of power for a little repeater. You know what? We should keep the shock weapon. I don't think I have a shock weapon. Yeah, we don't need to have two, I don't think. Yeah, kind of disappointing with that, Jacobs. I mean, that power's incredible, but you know, otherwise not too impressed. Pop off the combat rifle ammo while we're here. Boom. We're almost done with the with the spice plants, but we still need to get more rack meat. Might as well clean out some of the gear here while we're there. Up the ladder we go. What was it? Yeah, through that door and then to the left. Oh, that's right. This was the a lot of gear in here. Sweet. See, that's not too shabby. How much more space do we have? Ding. Oh. And empty the bags, sell, rinse, repeat. Nothing. Crappy shield. Alright. And then there was the so it was like the fight between N64, PlayStation, and then the distant third, Sega Saturn, that people kind of just forgot about, you know. While it did have some good games, it's like the Saturn just kind of got chucked aside because shortly after the Dreamcast came out, and that was so much better. But yeah, that poor Dreamcast. I mean, poor Saturn. Yeah, in fact, to this day, I don't think I've ever met anyone who owned a Sega Saturn. Which is there. It's like, oh, you know, the question was typically, oh, N64 or PlayStation. And, you know, I believe the PlayStation, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the PlayStation outsold the N64 globally. Don't quote me on that, but it just had that wider curve appeal. It had, oh, you know, it's on the CD, and, you know, it's got memory card slots so you can save your games and take them with you. It's like, yeah, but you had the same thing on the 64, except you plug in the memory card to your controller, which is pretty neat, frankly. Let's see, where? Oh, that's right. We were going in here. Now you can plug in that, or but then the problem with that was it's like, well, you can't. You'd have to plug it in and unplug it, and then if you had a Rumble pack, then you can put that in, or. Yeah, still pretty cool. What a time to be alive.
We got guns over here.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's about 12:30.
Always
plenty
room
of
for more
time.
loot.
Plenty of time still. I'm waiting on I think the GameStop closes around like 7 or 8 o'clock on Saturday. Double check the time, but still have plenty of time to go. And I could swing by before they close. I just don't want to be that guy who shows up like you know, if they close like at 8 o'clock, I don't want to be the guy who walks in at 7:45 with something complicated, or actually at all, really. Like, I really don't want to walk in you know, especially when I could have avoided it by going earlier. It's like, you know, that associate, they don't want to be there. They want to go home. It's, you know, it's Saturday night. You know, they probably have plans, or, you know, I'm almost certain they probably don't want to be at work at that time. So if they close at 8, like, I'll go in around like 7 o'clock, like no later than 7:30.
Another notch on my whip.
Was a giant rack. Ah, there's more. Oh, we needed these anyway. Sweet. We got all that rack meat. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. Like, you walk in, it's like, oh, I need this, and they have, you know, 100 questions, and it's like, bruh, why are you here right now? We were open all day. Why are you coming in at the last second? So it's like, I think that's not too bad. Like, maybe 7:30 at the very latest, meaning getting there in the store at 7:30, assuming it's a simple transaction. Like, I know exactly what I want. I go in there. I'm in and out in 5 minutes. And I leave. But if I want to browse and chat up a bit, then I probably wouldn't want to go any time later than 7. That way I'm done by 7:15, 7:20. And that's all she wrote. Hey, we're done. Okay. Quest wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. But still. I hate this. I hate this area. With a passion. So confusing to navigate. So that'll take us back out there, and then we'll head west, and yeah, we're gonna wrap up this quest. Ooh, a weapons chest. What have we here?
This'll help.
Alright. Oh, another
A
weapons
message
chest.
from your glorious leader. Hath not a claptrap an eye? If you prick it, do we not bleed? If you poison it, do we not die?
Has some
Of
stuff we
course
can
we
look
don't,
through in a bit.
because we're better than all you stinking flesh bags. But if you blow us up, shall we not revenge? Viva la revolution!
You know, I've been meaning to actually dust off the old N64 as well. And plug it in to my TV downstairs. It still has the AV cables, thank goodness. So, like, the only other option would be, I think you can go and get a there's like an adapter or like a card reader that you can use to that'll read off the RCA and then convert it to USB, so you can plug it into the laptop and do video capture. The other option would be is to convert the N64 to an HDMI output, which I don't really know how much that costs. So I'm kind of curious to see what the price point is compared to just getting a video card device that can hook up to the RCA cables. Because I did the rookie mistake of, you know, I still have the original N64 that I had. Well, it was actually mine and my brother's. We bought it in 1996, and it's the original console. We never gave it away. We never sold it, so we kept that one. But over the years, I did like sell games and trade games back and forth. So there's some stuff it's like I kind of had regrets selling later, but so like little by little, like, you know, over a period of time, I started to buy certain cartridges here and there on eBay, or if I'd see them at a yard sale sometimes, or I think GameStop had them at some point too when they were doing some of the more retro stuff. But I haven't bought any recently. And I'm not a collector in the sense where I want to own the whole library. You know, I only want to collect the games that I've enjoyed playing and I want to have it again, or I want to try out. I don't really see the point in collecting games just so they sit there. I know some people like it. I don't want them just to sit there. I want to play them.
Welcome to my shop.
Jackpot. Quest complete. Yeah, I guess in that sense I'm more of a practical collector. Or it's kind of like those, you know, there's guys who buy these really fancy sports cars and then they just sit there. You know, if you had like a 1960s era, you know, Shelby Cobra with the 427 in there, I'd imagine you probably wouldn't want to daily drive it. I'd be afraid of someone hitting the car, scratching the car, stealing the car. But, you know, cars are still meant to be driven. You know, I wouldn't want to spend that kind of money on a car and then just let it sit there. You know, unless it's an investment. Then that's a different story. Like, I'm going to buy this car, but I'm going to buy it to resell it as opposed to buy it to drive it. Then I get it. But if the car's just going to sit there, it's like, why? What's the point? Like, I want to drive it, I want to enjoy it. You know, that's what it's for. So same with the games, is I want to enjoy them, I want to play them. You know, that's what they're for, is to be played. You know, I don't see them as investments per se. I see them as something fun. Let's see. There we go. Now that SMG we can look at too. But I think the one I have equipped is better, but let's see. Yeah, I mean this one's pretty good. So ooh, there's a huge dip in damage though. SMG's 180 damage. This is 85. It's like half the less than half the damage. It's got 7 points, 8 points in accuracy bonus, and it fires more slowly, and the clip size is even smaller. Somehow it sells for more money. I don't think it's a bad gun, but nah, we'll stick with the one I have equipped.
Atlas spares no expense in making guns that excel in
Awesome.
every area.
So here we are at the 42-minute mark and change. So this episode's going to be a long one after we put it all together, but we made it. We're donesies. On to the last quest. On to the end. So thank you all for staying to the end. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on a future episode, and I'm looking forward to catching you all in the next one. Later days.